At the beginning of a Mythbusters Breaking Bad special.
Yep, it's going to be unstable, volatile, and dangerous.
Look at that! Oh my God!
As we break out with Breaking Bad.
Shall we get our viewers up to speed? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Vince Gilligan, creator of the amazing show Breaking Bad, and this is Aaron Paul, who plays one of the main characters on the show, Jesse Pinkman. Now, a few months ago, Vince was asked in an interview what show he would most like to do a crossover with Breaking Bad, and his answer was Mythbusters. So, guys, what do you have for us?
Well, Breaking Bad is usually about Walt and Jesse getting themselves into a whole lot of trouble. And typically, it's science that bails them out.
But, you know, we've been getting a lot of grief whether or not that science is actually scientifically accurate. And we're here hoping you can separate Breaking Bad fact from fiction.
Like what?
Can you dissolve through a bath, the floor, and ceiling just by filling up the tub with hydrofluoric acid?
Explosives and acid. Let's party.
Totally. Yes.
The hit show Breaking Bad sees chemistry teacher Walt and his dropout student take on the crazy world of cartels, crime, and crystal.
There is gold in the streets.
But while science is always on their side, is their chemistry correct? Well, first up, it's rub-a-dub-dub. Acid eats through a tub. Can hydrofluoric acid really chew through a crime scene? And for this acid test, what's the plan?
Clearly, we should start in small scale with, I think, small samples of each of the substances the acid's supposed to have eaten through, like ceramic for the bath, steel for the gun, pig bone and pig flesh for the body, and wood for the floor, and see if the acid actually reacts with it.
And since hydrofluoric acid is so toxic that even a tiny amount on your skin could be deadly,
Stylish.
it's off to Berkeley, where their crack team of chemists have a supply of this concentrated corrosive.
Now, in the actual program, Walt describes hydrofluoric acid as being capable of dissolving metal, rock, glass, and ceramic, all materials commonly findable in an average bathroom. We've added a couple of others, plus our favorite human analog, pig, and we're going to introduce them to some hydrofluoric acid. See what happens.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and load these with 100 mils of hydrofluoric acid.
Eric, the chemist, carefully pours the acid.
Oh, there's the meat.
It's not bubbling up right away, though, is it?
No.
Nor smoking.
Making sure that all the samples receive exactly 100 mils.
Well, now the most crucial aspect of any experiment.
Waiting.
Yep.
And after an 8-hour soak in their acid bath, according to Breaking Bad, there should be nothing left, right?
Let's see what we got. Some residue on the bottom there, but it seems completely unaffected by the acid.
Yeah.
The steel is still intact, and so is the linoleum and the wood.
It seems like it's pretty much unaffected.
But the drywall is a different matter.
Oh, the drywall is just a soggy, soupy mush.
Yeah, it looks like the plaster is pretty much gone.
And the acid has also affected the cast iron tub.
Yeah, it's clearly eaten through the ceramic glaze. Look at that. Underneath, it feels quite solid. Now for the meat.
The main course.
Yeah, it's definitely affected the meat, but, you know, I still see a bunch of fatty tissue there.
Despite some minor changes, the acid failed to chew through every single material. So it's clear the hydrofluoric doesn't have the same bite as Breaking Bad.
So at this point, it's looking pretty clear that hydrofluoric acid is not living up to the Breaking Bad series of events. So there's no doubt that it is a very dangerous and potentially lethal acid. But when it comes to turning a body into mulch in a few minutes, it's not the acid of choice.
The hydrofluoric acid didn't dissolve the organic matter, the bath, the floor, or the ceiling.
Some activity here, but it's not soup.
Why? Well, here's Adam on acid.
All right, kids, time for a little lesson in acid chemistry. Editors, please give me a periodic table right there. Awesome. Now, let's highlight the halogens: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and aspartame. What's interesting to us about these 5 elements is their reactivity. The lower their atomic number, the more reactive they are. That means bromine is more reactive than iodine, chlorine more reactive than bromine, and fluorine reacts with nearly every known substance. Now, onto acids. Thank you. Hydrogen creates an acid with each of the halogens, and you would be very reasonable to expect that the reactivity of the halogen would correspond directly to how caustic the acid that it makes with hydrogen would be. But you'd be wrong in the case of hydrofluoric acid, and it's because of the central bond in hydrofluoric acid, that bond between hydrogen and fluorine. See, these acids work by releasing hydrogen atoms in the reaction, and because that bond between hydrogen and fluorine is so strong, it doesn't ever want to let go, hydrofluoric acid is a less powerful acid than its brethren. Lesson out.
But that begs a real question. What is the acid of choice? Well, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to find out.
In this rectangle, there's going to be a hole. In that hole, there's going to be a tank, and that tank is where all the nastiness is going to fall if it burns through the tub and the floor. I would have gotten there eventually. That way it'll be safely contained.
Safely contained and unable to fall through the cracks.
And it's fully in place. The bath that goes under our bath made of cross-linked high-density polyethylene.
And above that goes their elevated bathroom, built, of course, to code.
One tub of death.
So this is our mocked-up bathroom, and we've got a floor built to spec. We have a cast-iron bathtub. We even have a faux tile wall behind it. But since this special sauce mix we're going to be pouring in the tub is about the nastiest stuff known to man, if you're talking acids, we're going to have to take some special precautions to do it safely.
To that end, we've employed the help of Delta Tech Services. These guys are a hazardous materials cleanup company, and they've brought every toy in their arsenal to help us out.
Well, that's the worst-case scenario taken care of. And now, to break out the bad.
It's time to meet the dangerous stuff. In these 2 bottles, nearly pure solution of sulfuric acid. But we make it even stronger by adding this, a 30% solution of our special sauce. The 2 of these together, hopefully, will get ugly.
And in here is 35 pounds of dirty drug dealer's swine, and he's about to take a bath. Time to suit up.
Let's do it.
With the guys hazmated up, it's time for the pig to take a bath.
Oh, hello, little guy.
Oh, man. Let's get the acid.
But for our drug-dealing swine, the toxic trouble just got deeper.
Now, in the clip, we only ever see Jesse pouring 2 gallons of acid onto the body in the bathtub. But to make triply sure that we're totally covered in this experiment, we're using 3 times that much.
Yep, and once the pig is sleeping in the sulfuric, enter the special sauce.
You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Special sauce going in. Careful about splashing. Smoking coming up.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we retreat to our video cave?
Yep.
Okay. Come with us.
500 feet away, the tent is set for their sulfuric surveillance. So now begins the weirdest wait in Mythbusters history.
This is the worst movie ever.
6 gallons of the special sauce solution slowly starts to react with the bath.
Oh. Bubbles are starting to form.
We've got white foam.
And its contents.
Yeah, it's getting much darker and gooey over here. There's all this cloudy crap coming into the liquid.
But after 40 minutes of gradual changes,
Oh, there it is.
suddenly the chemical reaction heats up.
There's a ton of smoke coming off this dude. It's happening.
Oh.
Oh!
Pig is dissolving.
Look at that! Wow! Oh, look at the thermal camera. It's like hell in a bathtub.
It's like it's on fire.
Wow.
As the exothermic reaction gets even more aggressive, the bath is cloaked in smoke.
Oh, look at that. Oh, my gosh.
That's going crazy.
That is going... We should better clear out of here.
Yeah.
That acrid cloud of gas makes monitoring the bathtub not just difficult, but dangerous.
I totally did not expect this to be so energetic.
But eventually, when the smoke dies down, it seems the acid has done its dirty work. Well, on the pig, at least.
So it looks like a large portion of it is dissolved, but there's a little bit left, and I have to say, it looks about like what fell through the floor in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, except that the acid's not doing anything to the bathtub.
Yeah, not a thing.
It's not making its way through the tub.
That's what it looks like safe in Video Village. But now that the reaction has run its course, the guys go in for a closer look.
Ah,
That's just wrong.
it smells terrible.
That's one of the ugliest things I've ever seen.
It really is. It's one of the ugliest things he's ever seen. Think about that for a second.
It's clear the acid ate through most of the pig, but what about the bathtub and the bathroom floor?
Well, the floor is totally intact. No tubs coming through there.
Yep.
So as the plug is pulled and the experts drain the remains, it seems this myth is sunk.
Well, that was really cool.
Very cool. Busted, but totally cool.
Let's go tell Vince and Aaron.
Cool. All right, guys, the results are in, and I'm sorry to say, even though our special acid with the fiberglass tub was an improvement, it still failed to replicate what we see in the clip. Oh, man. And because it didn't work with HF, this myth is totally and doubly busted.
Yep, it's busted.
Wait, so Jesse won, Walt nil.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have used the cheese.